Hi there, I'm Lisa Taylor. Okay, before I tell you the trick about how to overcome being overwhelmed, I wanted to share with you a little story that I heard this week. And it's about, it's a 9/11 story. I know we've heard a lot of them, but I had never heard this story before, similar to some others. But I heard about a guy who was on the 36th floor, had gone to work that morning, and had this overwhelming sense that he needed to leave. And just was like, this sense of intuition was just saying, you need to leave now, and you need to not take the elevator. You need to go down the stairs. And he was like, what are you talking about? It's like a voice in his head almost. Just this overwhelming urge. And he was like, no, I have work to do. And he started focusing on work. And this urgent sense just kept coming to him that he needed to get up from his desk and walk down the stairs and get out of the building. So he finally decided to heed this voice. And he's walking down the stairs, and I think he's down at like the 10th or 9th floor or somewhere down there, like below halfway. And that's when the towers got hit. And he was able to get out and help others get out, and was out and safe. And the reason I'm sharing that in relationship to what I posted saying, are you overwhelmed? And here's a trick, is because what he was using is spiritual sense. And spiritual sense, a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, flies in the face of our five physical senses and our logical ego brain. He knew he had a lot of work to do. He was arguing with his spiritual sense, saying, no, I have a lot of work to do. It's like, why would I do that? Why would I get up and leave my job and go down the stairs? It's silly. So cultivating our spiritual sense is so important in our lives. I mean, it saved his life. It saved my life countless times, and I'm sure many of you have stories. In fact, I'd love to hear your stories. But that sense of cultivating our spiritual sense, our sense of cultivating our spirit, that's a little bit redundant. Cultivating our spiritual sense is so important. So how do we do that? I don't have the answer, but I can tell you what I do and what helps me. And I have a regular daily practice. And part of it is, and here's my trick, when my alarm goes off, I immediately am thinking about something larger than myself. I think in terms of the word God. Many of you don't use that word, but use other words, the universe or source or the power of life or whatever term it is that you use and however you define the power that is beyond us as human beings. Start there. Start with something larger than yourself. Physically move towards something that will get you out of your head. My trick is I get up, well, I first think gratitude and identify myself as a child of God. I get out of bed and I immediately go put my running stuff on. And before my brain can engage, before I've kind of woken up, I'm in my running clothes and I'm going to get my glass of water before I get out the door. So taking a physical action, being in the habit of doing something physically before your ego can engage and your brain can kind of talk you out of it, do something that puts you in motion, that leads you towards your spiritual sense. Why does running lead me towards that? Because I'm expressing discipline. While I run, I listen to a spiritual radio show. So I know that when I'm running, I'm heading towards spiritual ideas, which is cultivating my spiritual sense. It's tuning me in to the true nature of who I am first, before my brain engages and gets going in all of the things I have to do for the day. And what's really interesting is when I tune into my spiritual sense first thing, it sets me, it's like tuning in a radio. It tunes me into that channel, so that throughout the day, when my brain is engaged and I'm busy and, the ego kind of takes over, I always have that channel to tune into. It's much easier to sort of tune back into that than if I were grasping at it in the midst of chaos around me. So that is my trick. Figure out what it is for you, some practice, and I do hope that you find something that you can do every day and that allows you to tune back into it during the day. Find something that helps you engage your heart instead of your head, that helps you engage your spiritual sense instead of your human senses. because that is what will save your life. That is what will guide you on your true path. That is what will keep you heading to true north. Okay, that's my note for you. I love you guys, and hopefully you will share this out if you think these ideas are good. You will share your stories below, because I would love to hear your spiritual sense or intuition stories, because we want to celebrate those. All right, I love you. Bye.